Hey guys, G-John here. So the next butterfly flaw is the butterfly swimmer that can never really get that undulation with their core and their pelvis. They have poor pelvic and hip and abdominal dissociation. This is a big problem, especially with master swimmers. They got all kinds of muscle length problems. They're always stuck sitting at that desk, things like that. It can also contribute to that assless swimmer, which we talked about in some past freestyle posts. But let's talk about the swimmer that is always, walking around, may have a little bigger stomach here. Their hips are always back, their hamstrings are tight, they're sitting at a desk all day, and now you get them in the pool, you want them to get this undulation moving with their body, but they're stuck in this direction. So what are the muscle length, strength, and timing issues that can be a result of this sort of physiological or biomechanical structure that this person has? So when I see someone like that, first thing you want to check is their core strength or abdominal strength. So having them do some planks, see how long they can hold that with proper position. I'm not talking about holding it out in extension, hanging out in their passive structures and ligaments. You actually have to test their core strength and figure out what's going on. Do they have any anterior sagittal weakness? It's very important because in this butterfly, this pelvis motion and movement is very important to have this dissociation. So check their core strength of their abdominals. That's the big one because when you think about it, their belly's nice and big, they got that rounded back. These muscles in the front are being lengthened. And when muscles are lengthened, they're often weak. So you got to do some contractions, get them stronger so those muscle fibers aren't in this lengthened position, but in a more optimal contractile position. So what I also want to check is muscle length. Like we talked about, the muscle length there was too long on the abdominals. What about muscles that are too short? Ones that are too short, too tight that you have to start stretching. So the main ones are the hamstrings and the hip flexors. I'm stressing this a lot. I mean, you see this a lot in a lot of injuries, and even people that are coming in for screening and that they have a lot of problems, even though they have different things wrong with them. Coming back to the same things over and over. Tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings, preventing this. So you want to make sure that muscle balance in the front and back of the hips is optimal. Proper stretching of the hip flexor and hamstrings will only get you better. And then muscle timing. I mean, this is a big one because there's a lot of muscles that attach to the hip and pelvis, and you have to really get them coordinating well. So just getting them to feel the pelvis moving may be the first step. Just doing some simple pelvic clocks, or also just some cat-cows, things like that that are really stressing yoga, differentiating that hip and pelvis from two different structures. So really work on that muscle timing of all these muscles, and once you get going from there, you can get them in the pool. Just doing some only pelvic mobility in the pool for butterflies, so not letting them use the lower half of their body, trying to stress getting their hip and their motion starting from this pelvis and hip. Okay, that's it for now. G-John, see you later.